Hello and welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. So, we are all alone. We have to go speak to our companions, and this is kind of our base, which is pretty cool. We're still a little bit injured, and I'm not sure how we rest. So if I press R here, we properly rest, or what's that do? Oh, it gives us full health and changes time of day. Perfect. That's what I wanted it to do. Right. Well, that's good. We got some stuff to sell, so let's go find Svetlana first. Good day! I hope you're feeling alright after that battle. I can't thank you enough for what you've done. I definitely don't want to waste your time, but if you have a moment, I have a request. Wait. Before you get into that request, who is this lovely person standing right here with a bow and arrow? Is that a ranger? Will he join our party? All very important questions. What did you want to ask me? Svetlana lowers her head. This is a very personal request, but maybe not important enough for your time. I'll completely understand if you say no, but the first time the Stag Lord's thugs came here demanding money, they also took my wedding ring. Just tore it off my hand. It's just a trinket really, but it means so much to me. I remember every moment of the day Oleg came to me, that ring in hand, to ask if I'd marry him. I was standing in a fancy dress on the stairs of my father's home, fearing that I misheard something, or that I'd say something stupid and everyone around would laugh. Svetlana interrupts herself, shaking her head gently. If you happen to find my ring among the bandits' possessions, please bring it back to me. It's easy to recognize. My name is engraved inside the band. Svetlana drops her eyes, lowering her voice. There is one more thing. Among the bandits, there's a dark-haired woman who wields dual axes. She's not bad in a fight. In fact, she can be extremely dangerous and cruel. But, please, I beg you, show her mercy if you have the chance. Well, I'll be happy to help, Svetlana. Svetlana nods. Oh, I'm so grateful for your help. Okay. So, tell me about yourself. How did you and your husband find the courage to establish a trading post in the Stolen Lands? Oh, it was Oleg's idea, though I supported him in it. We didn't realize how dangerous it was here, of course. In Restov, everyone respects the Sword Lords, and everyone's accustomed to relying on them. But even the mention of someone like Lady Jamandi could be enough to fend off some street thug, or some other trouble. It could even work in some places here, but not if the Stag Lord's men. So what can you tell me about the Stag Lord? He's not just some kind of average bandit. If no one puts a stop to him, then he will turn the Stolen Lands into his own personal kingdom. A kingdom of fear and oppression. Okay. Interesting. How do you want to say it? Well, you know what? I think we'll be a bit cynical. Fear always follows power. It'd be naive to think the Stag Lord is so much different from any other ruler. Svetlana lowers her head. You may be right, but life without hope is just too bitter. Well, I have to go. Farewell. Okay, cool. Anaril, 8 Eyes. Very good, like very accurate in a fight. Anaril, 8 Eyes. The elf looks straight at you, through the tangled hair falling over her face. Hey, you're an adventurer, right? Seeking your fortune in the Stolen Lands? You're the only one of your kind here. Take my advice. Keep your eyes open and watch your back. Sometimes the ones who call themselves your friends are more dangerous than your enemies. Judging by the elf's voice, it's obvious that you started the day with a jug of wine. Who are you? I'm a Noril 8 Eyes. Once upon a time I was famous throughout Absalom. A Noril 8 Eyes of the Reckless Six. Well, glory passes quickly. A few miserable decades later and no one recognizes you on the street anymore. What a shame. What's Absalom? More than 4,000 years, Absalom has been the city at the center of the world, a metropolis-sized showcase of the greatest treasures in all of Golarion. The city not only holds a key strategic position for both commercial and military endeavors in the region, but encompasses the site of the ascension of the 4 deities and claims to have been founded by none other than the last Aslanti god, Aroden. Okay, so a very old city. Fair enough. So what are you doing here? Oh, I sit here waiting for adventurers who are in need of help. Maybe sitting here in the backwoods tavern, but in Absalom I have a lot of friends who are eager to make a few coins. They have brave hearts, but shallow pockets. A little gold would be a welcome change for them. I can send them a message and it will come from Absalom through a portal. If you're interested, just give me a sign and we'll arrange everything right away. Okay, so she's the one who gives us she gives us people without story to join our party. Fair enough. So why are you called Eight Eyes? Once, long ago, I could spot an enemy and pin him to the wall before he could even think of attacking. Some said I had 8 eyes and looked all around at once. Though it seems I've outlived my nickname. Honoril stretches her arm forward. Her palm trembles noticeably. I've been drinking so much lately. It's best I don't test my skills too often. Where were you when the trading post was attacked? I was hunting. God, a little lost in the mist. Which is the first time that's happened to me. I guess I should go easier on the drink. But don't you imagine I'd be scared of a good fight? If I'd only known what I was missing all the action. But I see you've got everything under control. A famous Pathfinder here in the middle of nowhere. Why? Oh, you want to know how one could exchange the life of a Pathfinder for this sorry drunken rat hole? The light in Honoril's eyes goes out as if someone had blown out a candle. You lose all your friends because of one scumbag. Then you'll understand. I was the only one to return from the final campaign of the Reckless Six. And whatever is left of me can't be called a seeker anymore. Honoril remains silent for a long time, as if wondering if she wants to poke the old wound. Here's the story. Our leader, Vermelt, was the best of us. Wise, brave, friends with everyone. One of those friends, Adivion Aridzon, sent him a disturbing letter. He'd stumbled upon mention of some ancient books on the art of necromancy. Secrets like those are best left hidden forever. Trust me, I've seen what that kind of magic can do. The elf bites her lip. To make a long story short, these volumes were supposedly hidden in the catacombs of Gallowspear. We decided that the books should be retrieved and kept safe by the Society. We gathered in the tavern and discussed the expedition, then proceeded to Utsalav. It was a normal mission, a quick and quiet recovery. Honoril smiles bitterly, but everything turned out to be much more complicated. We barely made it through the Witchgate Forest. All those terrible living trees, undead druids and their arches of bones. It was a miracle we managed to make it out there alive. We'd chosen Wrenchurch to stop at. It was marked on Vermelt's map as safe enough haven to hole up in and lick our wounds. Oh, how I wish that had been true. Vermelt was the first to perish. He was attacked by one of the monsters hiding in the stables. He tossed him like a feather and threw him down the ancient well. His shout echoed for a long time and I didn't hear the sound of him landing. And then, Honoril pauses and turns away, hiding her eyes. Enough. Yeah, I shouldn't have gotten into this. Who am I to stir up others' feelings with this chatter? We'll better forget about it for now. I'll tell you more about it some other time, but not today. Interesting. I wonder whether this is like another, because I know that Kingmaker is one of the Pathfinder Society adventures. I wonder if this is referring to another one. Anyway, we did miss a couple here. Society? Pathfinder Society is a globe-spanning organization based out of Absalom. The membership consists primarily of Pathfinders, adventurers who travel through Golarion, usually inconspicuously, and explore, delve, and otherwise experience lesser-seen parts of the world. They send journals documenting their travels back to their adventure captains, who also assign them new missions and suggest new places to explore. The most exciting and illuminating of these journals are compiled in the Pathfinder Chronicles, an ongoing series of books that collect the history and mystery of Golarion for its membership and the general public. Ustalav. The immortal principality of Ustalav is a fog-shrouded nation of countless horrors and a once-proud realm that suffered under the clawed hands of the Whispering Tyrant for centuries. Okay. Regarding your story. Honoril looks at you silently. What happened in Wrenchurch? The elf shakes her head. I have no wish to fill your sleep with nightmares. When you prove that you can stand firm in battle, that you can achieve victory without losing yourself along the way, and I'll tell you of the horrors that waited us in Wrenchurch. Alright. I want to know more about the Pathfinder Society. What exactly are you interested in? What's the purpose of this society? It's a school of adventurers. We search for those who are eager to test their skills, and we educate them and give them ideas on where in Golarion they might seek their fortune. They look for forgotten knowledge, secrets, and lost artifacts. They're explorers and pathfinders. We're a sort of mutual assistance club for adventurer lovers. We exchange experience, share knowledge, and keep careful records, in case it proves useful for future expeditions. We also publish books for thrill seekers and bored urban teenagers from wealthy families. What kind of members does this society have? All sorts of adventurers. We have representatives from all races, religions, and beliefs. The Grand Lodge is in Absalon, and there are many smaller lodges throughout Galarian. And the venture captains direct Pathfinders to their goals from across all corners of the world. There are many renowned heroes in the society, and many scoundrels as well, whose service to the society has brought them fame. Who does this society support? You mean, who does it serve? No one in particular. Pathfinders try not to get involved in the quarrels of others. They serve only the spirit of adventure, and sometimes they happen to save the world. However, it doesn't mean that there are no black sheep amongst the Seekers. Okay, would you like to join me? No, I've got enough things to do already. You'd better manage on your own. Alright, well, I have to go. See ya. Cool. Probably won't speak to them very much. I don't like using companions that are just generated. I prefer to take ones with story because, well, if you take one with a story, then you get more story events, and there's a little bit of meaningful progression. You know, just that sort of thing. Anyway, hey Linzi. A halfling girl with tousled hair, wearing a dusty traveler's outfit, sits chewing the tip of her quill. Just a moment, how should I put this? Oh, I know! She scribbles something quickly in a notebook, scrawled with verse, raises her eyes, and gives you a bright smile. Oh, hi! Well, tell me about yourself. What do you want to know? Oh, so much. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from all over. I was actually born in Galt. Such a tiny little village that it's not even on the maps. If it weren't for my teacher, I'd still be living there, milking goats, weeding turnips, swilling homebrew, having babies, and using books only as kindling. What is Galt? A nation of free thinkers and radicals renowned for brilliant poets, artists, and philosophers whose ideas shape the politics of the whole of Avestan. Galt was once a vassal of the nation of Chiliacs. After the death of Aredin and the rise of House Thrun in Chiliacs, the people of Galt decided to throw off their foreign rulers along with their own nobles who had colluded with them. The executions did not end the bloodshed, and within 5 years the severed heads of the ministers of the first government rolled down the steps of the guillotine. In 40 years since, over a dozen governments have ruled Galt, rising and falling like the waves of a stormy sea. Okay, who was your teacher? Oh, he's a true saint. He was once an important person in the capital, at the church of Shelian, of Shellin, but he got in trouble with the authorities and went on a self-imposed exile to the tiniest, most godforsaken priestless village he could find. The one where I was born. He wanted to open a school, but the villagers wouldn't let him. You can heal us all you like, but no putting any ideas into our children's heads. It will only distract them from their work. But he did teach me on the sly. He taught me how to read, how to write. He gave me books, poems, legends. He was the one who told me about the Arch Knights of Avastin. And when I told him I was going on a journey, he gave me a magic ring so Shaylin would protect me from harm. I haven't seen him since I ran away from home. I hope he's alright. I ask Shaylin every day to grant him a long life and new students. Who are the Arch Knights of Avastin? Oh, you haven't heard of them? How can you be a heroine without knowing one of the most epic stories of the histories of stories? No, I won't spoil everything. You should just read about them yourself. Every single chapter. Their adventures are what gave me the idea to go on a heroic quest and write about it to begin with, and, well, now, look at me. Here I am, on a heroic quest. How did you become a bard? When I realised there was nothing for me at home besides more radish patches, I decided to run away. A travelling book peddler, Tessie the Quill, happened upon our village. Well, I stuck to her like a burr and wouldn't let go until she agreed to take me as an apprentice. Together we travelled everywhere, to Brevoy, to Taldor, even to Ustalav. Then I found about the Academy of Grand Arts in Pitax, and I thought, well, I love reading stories, so surely I can learn how to write them too. I enrolled on my first try, and they even gave me a scholarship. Then they expelled me, but that's okay. They'd already taught me all the important stuff. Now with Shaylin's help, I can manage on my own. What's Taldor? Knights, fair maidens, and heroic adventures and righteous quests. These are the legends of old Taldor. For the once powerful empire has fallen on its former glory. Now rival nobles battle each other with bitter knights and proxy armies for personal power rather than honour. And the Academy of Grand Arts. While not as popular as some of the great bardic schools in the Inner Sea, Pitax's Academy of Grand Arts still manages to attract some students seeking greater specialisation. Okay, so do you worship Shaylin? Yes, not to offend the other gods, but she's the most important of them. All the other gods guard the world as it is. Only the eternal Rose, the goddess of beauty, calls us to the world as it should be. Okay, that's more about the Shaylin, but we already read that. Why are your clothes so messy? I mean, in the picture they look pretty nice, but, why are they so messy? Linzi waves her hand carelessly. Forget it, I can't waste money on looks, I'd rather buy books instead. In 100 years, when people are reading my works, they're going to ask whether the author had holes in her sleeves. Alright. Well, I got a feeling you have a lot to say, so you come from Pitax, right? Tell me about it. Oh, I love Pitax, even though they kicked me out. A joyful place. What's life in Pitax like? Actually, Pitax has always been one huge nest of thieves, bandits, river pirates, smugglers, fences, card sharps. It's always been a home for the likes of them. But that was before Iravetti became king. With him, a whole different life began there. Iravetti wanted to make history, but not as another common bandit with a crown. That's exactly what he is. He wanted to be glorified through centuries as a great patron of the arts. So he built the Academy of Grand Arts and spent a lot of gold to assemble the best artists, poets, and musicians. Of course, the very best ones refused to go, but he got what he wanted in a way. Pitax was once just a booze barn for thieves. Now it's a cabaret. What do you know about King Iravetti? He won his crown in a game of cards, which says as much about Pitax as it does about him. He's fiendishly clever, and some cheats I know told me that from the moment he appeared, he started pulling off such schemes that the old city masters just scratched their heads. With him in charge, gold flooded into Pitax. And also, he's incredibly, unimaginably, fantastically decadent and conceited. Getting drunk with whores at the pub. That's not what Lord Iravetti's style. Oh no, he aims higher, dressing up like a male Calistria with golden codpiece, and then holding a 3-week orgy with dancing on the rooftops, parades, public executions, and a contest for the best ode to the great unrivaled king. That's more like it. Calistria? Calistria, also known as the Savoured Stag and the Unquenchable Fire, is the goddess of lust and vengeance who takes on many faces and guises. She is especially held in high regard by elves who often identify her for mercurial moods and changeable nature. I think we've read about her before, but just a nice reminder. He also likes singing, and he orders his guards to make the citizens gather for the shows. May Shaylin have mercy on his listeners. Tell me about the academy you studied at. Jokes aside, I'm thankful for Iravetti for building it, but he has no taste at all, whatsoever. He likes his art loud, bright, and grandiose, and most importantly, glorifying his Royal Highness. He kicked out the best charcoal artist because he didn't wish to spend money on grey scribbles. He sacked a masterful flute player from Tianzia for playing too quietly, and instead ordered them to open a kettle drum class. He even ordered the academy to expel me. For what? An innocent limerick. I think there's more to it. Would you like to go back to the academy and finish your studies? I'd like to return, but on one condition. If they threw out 3/4 of the professors who teach there now, and returned all the ones they banished. If you ask me, I'm proud to be expelled. My art was to Iravetti's liking, and then I would have reason to be ashamed. As long as a mediocre lick spittles sit at the academy, and those with real talent beg on the streets of Pitax, I will not cross the threshold of that place. Okay. Tell me about the book you're writing. What's there to tell? You've seen some of my rough drafts already, haven't you? It's a book about you and your adventures. I'm writing the whole truth, just as it happened. Well, the whole artistic truth. No glory, no story. Why are you writing? What's the point? When I was at the academy, Ebald the Insightful began his literature course with the question, "What is a person?" And he answered, "A person is a storytelling animal." Our world does not consist of things. All these words, seas, cities, it consists of stories about those things. The stories we tell ourselves and to each other. Just think about it. Centuries will pass and there'll be no more me, no more you. All your subjects will be long gone. But you and I will live on in people's memories and influence their deeds thanks to this very book. I'm not going to say our language is not that good and the book is full of inconsistencies. I'm just going to ask what kind of character I am. In books, everything is simple. These are the heroes and those are the villains. Of course, in life it's completely different. You have to make difficult decisions, and I don't always agree with you, but that's what makes you a complex, multifaceted character. You have an iron core. No matter what tricks fate throws in your path, you always know what's right and what's wrong. Some might say that's boring, but others will learn from you, from your strong character. How do you feel about me reading your work in progress? Well, these are only drafts, but of course you're welcome to read them. Just keep in mind that even if you don't like what I write about, I won't change a single letter, so don't even ask. Of course, it's a book about you, but it's my book, understood? The small writer's eyes glow rebelliously. I like this one. Write whatever you wish, it's your right, but I shall decide if your book is allowed on my lands. So wonderful. Oh, seriously, do it. Ban my book from your lands. Can you imagine how much the sales would grow everywhere else? As Shaylin is my witness, if there's a higher honor for a writer than to author a popular book, is to offer a forbidden book. Alright, let me ask you about something else. Tell me about your friendship with Tessie the Quill. What's there to say? The books woke my urge to travel, but it's only thanks to Tessie that I managed to really get out of the village. At first, Tessie tried in vain to get rid of me, but later, when I told her I was staying at Pitax, she even shed a tear. I wonder where she is now. What's the deal with that ring you always wear on your finger? Ah, this. Linzi holds her arm for you to get a clearer view of the ring. It was a gift to me by my first teacher. It's magical and imbued with the powers of Shaylin, no less. When I get myself in trouble, it transports me to a safe spot. So, please don't be angry with me if I suddenly disappear from a fight. I'll wait for you here. Promise. Alright, I have to go. Oh, just don't leave without me, of course. I could just write whatever you tell me, but if I want to stay cooped up in a dusty room, I'd be sleeping through lectures at the academy.
I'll go ahead.
Alright, well, she had a lot to say. Right, 2 seconds, just take a quick drink. Right.
The path
Who have we
clear.
got next? We do have to do a little exploring, as we didn't do that previously. Because we did do it on the previous... well, we did it on the save before we crashed. Also, I'm going to save now we did the conversation. Amiri. Okay. And a dog. Hey, Amiri. Are we gonna talk? Amiri utters a weary sigh. Alright, spill it. I'm listening. Alright, we're just talking. You don't like it? Amiri shrugs several times, perhaps flexing her muscles or maybe just filling in the silence. Dunno, she admits at last. Depends what we're gonna talk about. If it's about monsters or swords or scars, I approve. That's good. And if you're gonna ask questions like why, what for, and how, screw this. Amiri looks over the shoulder, looks over you slowly, head to toe. Or you got even harder ones. Tell me about yourself. The simple question seems to puzzle Amiri. She scratches her head and then starts counting on her fingers. First, I'm a barbarian. I'm strong. I grew up in the realm of the Mammoth Lords. I left my tribe, the Six Bears. Amiri looks thoughtfully at her 4 bent fingers and shrugs. And I like fights, she concludes, bending her thumb. Okay, the realm of the Mammoth Lords. A realm of megafauna inhabited by humans almost as savage as the prehistoric beasts surrounding them. The realm of the Mammoth Lords is in a land in Avastin's far north that is home to myriad nomadic tribes, the Kelid Barbarians. Okay. So what's it like to be a barbarian in the Six Bears tribe? Huh. Our people are big and strong. We can cut a monster in half with one swing. And we can walk 3 days and nights with no rest. And we can eat whole fried aurochs. I guess you had to do a lot of training to become as strong as you are. Training? Ha ha ha. No one freaking trained me. The boys of the Six Bears got the training. All I could do is watch. Amiri's eyes gleam with anger. And you know what? They were still crap even after all that training because I kicked their butts hard. Animals, bandits, monsters, all thought they were stronger than me. Idiots. Amiri spits on the ground. Because if you start a fight, you think you can win. You think you're stronger than your enemy. Amiri raises her chin proudly. I defeated them all. See the scars on my face? What does the realm of the Mammoth Lords look like? Huge and freezing. No place for weaklings. Amiri narrows her eyes as if evaluating your ability to survive in her homeland. Tribes hunt auroch herds to survive. Aurochs are fast, so tribe follows herd for days. Just to not die of hunger. If you are weak, you stay behind and die in the snow. Tribes cannot stop. Also, there are giants and mammoths. Sometimes demons come too. Oh, and the mastodons. And the saber-toothed tigers. Amiri grins. You would survive, I think, for a few days. Ha! Why did you leave your tribe? Amiri flushes. Because they were all assholes, all of them. Men were cowards and scoundrels, and women, oh, they were scared like sheep. Amiri rolls her bloodshot eyes in fury. Men there think no girl can be a fighter because they are weak. They're afraid a woman can beat them. What did I do there? Okay. And females just nod. Go sow hides, cook meat, watch kids. That's what they say. But I'm a warrior, damn it. I won't cook hides and watch meat. Amiri is already shouting, her fists clenched tightly. So I told them, I went hunting with men. What did I get? Still the same. You're a woman. You stay home. They even gave me a nickname, the Soft Chieftain, like a warrior woman was a fucking joke, a funny joke. Damn. I went to hunt those shit-faced frost giants, and there. Amiri suddenly stops, breathing heavily, sweat beading on her forehead. After a moment, Amiri waves her hand awkwardly and forces herself to grin. So I left. Cowards, scoundrels, and sissies they were. That's why. Well, you're a good fighter. Amiri jerks her head up. Quite good, huh? Compared to who? If I was a crappy male, I'd fight better. Is that what you say? She glares at you, her eyes narrow. Or, you say I could be better. Like, go get some training, Amiri, right? Hey, I meant exactly what I said. You're quite a good fighter. Don't raise your voice to me ever again. Amiri continues to breathe heavily for several seconds, glaring at you. But she finally calms down. I won't, he mutters. Forget it. I'm not going to tell her she's rude. No, we have a little bit of tact. Right. Why did you leave your tribe? What's the story about the frost giants? I told you already, they were assholes. They treat women like sheep, not fighters. As for the giants, I'll tell you later. Someday, maybe. That's a formidable sword. That's not just a simple weapon, is it? You bet it's not simple. Check out how big it is. She proudly raises her blade. He knows that, even though Amiri is extremely strong, she has difficulty wielding such a large sword. This song belonged to a real blasted frost giant. I killed the beast and took this looker for myself. Fits me perfect. My damn trophy. Amiri's eyes flash with menace as she's challenging some invisible enemy trying to take away her trophy. Well, thanks for talking with me. We'll speak again later. Talking. When are we gonna do some monster killing instead? Amiri sighs and turns away.
Let us be careful.
Person of few words. Unlike, I've completely forgotten our bard's name, and I feel bad. It starts with an L. Linzi the bard. Yes, Amiri, Linzi, Valerie. Amiri, Linzi, Valerie. Hey, Oleg. You have anything to say? Greetings. Oleg seems to be in a good mood and greets you warmly. You certainly ruffled those villains' feathers. Well, anyway, new day, new troubles. Have you seen the fog? Never seen anything like it before. The road to Restov looks like someone spilled milk and it just hung in the air. Couldn't see anything through that soup, not even a torch. Feels like witchcraft to me. I bet the Stag Lord's involved somehow. Rumor says he deals with all kinds of bad magic. Okay. First of all, let's do some trading. Right. So, we want to sell all of the stuff that we picked up that we're not going to use. Do we want to use the composite longbow? Probably not right now, if ever. And it's not rare, so here's the thing, we could keep it in case we get somebody who's going to use these composite longbows. But, if it's not rare, then why do we need it? If it's not rare, then we might as well sell it, and then we can just get one later. The second it grants the wearer ability to cast a blessed spell as level 1 cleric 3 times a day. Oh, that seems pretty good. Yeah, sell the silver ring. And a pearl. We have a lot of rations. That's good. Yeah, sell that. Do I need to keep that? Or do I know it now? I assume I need to keep it. Okay, that's fine. So that's going to get us 300. Is there anything I want from him? I kind of want armor if he has any. Well, armor for a backlot. You know what? I'm gonna deal right now for the money. Are we still overloaded? We are. Oh, but it's just us. That's the thing. That's fine. Wonder, there must be a box or something we can chuck stuff in back at our place. Anyway. Oh, interesting. When I open that, I can equip everyone. Oh, that's good. So, Amiri has banded mail, 7 armor class. Okay. So she could get better armor. Sorry, that's Valerie has a banded mail. Hide armor gives her max dexterity of 4, so she actually only has a +1 dexterity bonus anyway, so we could lower her dexterity a little bit more for better armor. Okay. Leather armor has, okay. Only has a 2 armor class. Do we have any armor on? We have no armor, but we probably want armor that doesn't give us arcane spell failure. Yeah. I think Amiri is the best target for new armor. Let's have a look. I think armor is the most important one because we want to not die to random crits. So scale mail has a best of 3. Oh wait, I can do that. That's good. So she has a best of 4. That's not good. So we need better than scale mail. Hers is medium armor right now, right? Hide. Yeah, hide armor seems like the best medium armor he sells. Oh, we have chainmail, which is better. Yeah, okay. Not bad. We could also get a breastplate, which is even better. Can't use banded, but breastplate is okay. That's a 2 armor class increase. Yeah, I think we want to add that in there. Valerie is currently using banded mail, which is a 7 armor class. We probably want to get her full plate at some point, but that costs a little bit much. How much do we have? How do I close that? Click it again? Oh, there we go. We could buy her. We could actually buy her full plate right now. I think doesn't sound like a ridiculous idea. No, we couldn't buy her full plate. We could buy her half plate right now. Increases our armor class by 1. Is that something we need to do? Probably not. Actually, we're probably okay not increasing our armor class by 1 right now. Okay, that's fine. Then we have Linzi. There's an armor class of 2. She only uses light armor though. Yeah, we're not going to get better than that. Leather armor is kind of the best we have for her. Studded leather actually is slightly better, but it gives her a larger arcane failure. I think she's fine. Okay. Next thing we want to have a look at is probably a bow for her. Or a light crossbow. You have a better light crossbow? Composite longbow. Just because we made her good with light crossbows, I want to make sure we don't have any light crossbows available here. That's fine. Actually, yeah, that's fine. So she uses her Masterwork Bastard Sword. We keep buying. The best he has is an equaling of that. Okay. Or a scimitar, which is too much. And she has her, yeah. She has her oversized enchantment +1 ginormous sword. Which is actually 3 to 17 damage, which is insane. That's 2d8. That's actually insane. That's 2d8 slashing +1. I mean, comparing that to, say, Valerie, that's 1d10. Compared to this one, that's 1d6. Those are some crazy amounts. We do have a dagger, I just noticed, in our second hand. Okay, it's not a problem. Shared stash? Probably don't need 2 torches if we need any. I'll keep 1 torch, that's fine. Oh, and the Jasper will sell. That's fine, we'll deal. Right. Let's give that to Amiri. So she's now wearing proper breastplate. And now we can go trade again. Get rid of that. For 3. Nice. Okay. Tell me about yourself. Why do you open a trading post in such a dangerous place? Oh, I just dislike the noise. Oleg answers reluctantly. And I'm from Restov. Cities are complicated, lots of people and each with their own place on the shelf. Bowed before this one, fear this other. Don't do business with a third. Be sure to be extra nice to a fourth, and villagers are a little better. Everyone likes to stick their noses into each other's business. I just wanted a place where I could be my own master, so I ended up here. I need to take care of the Stag Lord. Do you know anything that could help me find him? That's quite a task you set yourself on. The Stag Lord has a fortress somewhere in the area, but only a few chosen from the most trusted of his rabble are ever invited. Location of this fortress is a heavily guarded secret. This fog hanging around, I'd imagine it'd be even harder to find. Suppose you could try to follow the trail from those bandits who attacked the post before. They came from the southwest, from the side of the Thorn River. Thorn River meanders its way through northern parts of the Null Marches. Slow, fetid, and teeming with life, the muddy waters flow sluggishly through the flooded lands and dense thickets. The locals dare not drink from the Thorn River, and not just because of the filth of the stench. The ravenous beasts lurk in the murky depths, lying in wait and ready at any time to pull their prey from the solid ground down to the bottom of the river. The fortress might be there, or at least some other camp of theirs where you can find information. What else can you tell me about the Staglord? Not much. Not like I've sat down and shared a cup of wine with mine, you know? I think he arrived in the Stolen Lands less than a year ago from what I've heard. But as soon as he got here, he took over everything. I wrote to Restov and tried to warn them that the Staglord wasn't some typical gang leader, but they didn't listen. And the rumors about him are horrible. He'll kill a person if they so much as disagree with him. And he never reveals his face. And those who've seen him up close report the same thing. Ugly scars cover every inch of his skin, not covered by his loaves. The Staglord's past is a mystery. He just arrived one day. He was immediately a power to be reckoned with. I guess the most surprising thing about him is that he has as many followers who admire him as he has minions who obey him out of fear. Because he's got some inner strength in him, or maybe some inner madness. There are many who seem to follow him because of that madness, like with some kind of virtue. Alright, we'll speak later. Farewell. Hey, Bokken. Bokken puts his hands on his hips. Ha! Old Bokken still knows a few tricks to impress these blood-sucking dummies. Enough hiding in the damn bushes, I say. Alright, let's see what you have to sell. Okay, so he sells a bunch of scrolls. He says sells of transmutation and bodily poisons. Okay, I don't think we need anything he has. The potions actually are pretty huge. We could buy a few of those. Let's buy 10 potions. I mean, it's quite a lot, but I think it's probably worth investing in now. Before we run out of money, essentially. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Can I help you in any way? Bokken glances at you, suddenly interested. Well, since you're asking, there's a cave nearby. I used to pick berries in there, but the place has been overrun by spiders. The berries are red. Look a lot like raspberries. Fangberries, I call them. I'd be real grateful if you gathered a basket of them and brought them back. Just be quick if you do. They spoil quickly. Those spiders in the cave are extremely mean. I'll give you some alchemist fire. I craft them myself. Burn those spiders. Teach them how to claim my Fangberry cave. Also need a bucket of moon radishes. They're rare and very mysterious plant. Don't know where to find them, but I know kobolds gather them and value them highly. It's not a huge deal, really. I'd do it myself if I were younger, but if you're willing, I'll pay you 3 potions for the berries and a purse full of coins for the radishes. Why'd you need them? You want to know, huh? I'll gladly tell you after you bring me some. Alright, I'll try and help. Just watch out, alright? Don't end up someone's lunch. Alright, I should go. Okay. We got another little quest. Get some moon radishes from some kobolds.
The path is clear.
Nothing up there. Is this? Oh yeah, that is the blue fog. Yeah, okay. That's it. Anything along this way? I'm looking for Valerie. She must be up the back here, right? Oh, it was a rat. Where is Valerie? I missed somewhere? Oh, she's up here. There we go. We can't run very quickly because we're over encumbered, but that's okay. Should be some way to find a stash of items we can drop things into, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll have that. Have that. Hello, Valerie. Greetings, Valerie sighs. Everything is well, I hope. I'm ready for new orders. Tell me about yourself. What exactly would you like to know? I was born to a noble family, though I didn't remain long on the family estate. My father sent me to the Order of the Eternal Rose, but I left once I realized it didn't match my principles. Where are you from? What was your childhood like? I was born in Brevoy, but in fact I've never seen much of the country. I spent my childhood on a remote estate owned by my noble family. My father is a respectable philanthropist and benefactor of the Church of Shaylin. He is also a renowned private collector and great admirer of the arts. My mother saw to my education personally. From my early years, I learned good manners, how to behave at the dinner table, and proper form of words for every occasion. I also learned the difference between true nobles and low-born upstarts, and I learned how to treat each of them properly. Our home was always under the protection of several paladins of Shaylin. My father has donated a handsome sum to their order. One of them, a man of venerable age with a grey beard, once let me touch his shining armour. I still remember the admiration I felt when I touched the cold, polished steel. Valerie smiles. Of all the memories of my childhood, that one is somehow the warmest one. So why were you sent to the Paladin Order of the Eternal Rose? As you can imagine, for my first days I was surrounded by crowds of servants and nannies who never stopped praising my heavenly beauty. The Paladins of Shaylin, who used to visit our house, echoed these praises. In the end, the general consensus overwhelmed my father's better judgment. When I turned 6, I was brought to the Church of Shaylin and told that this would be my new home. Don't pity me though, I beg you. Many who hear the story immediately assume that my parents were cruel and had no love for their child. Valerie's eyes become stern. My parents had respect for me. They taught me something that supported me all my life, a sense of self-esteem. Besides, they didn't abandon me. Once every 6 months they would come and visit me at the Order of the Eternal Rose. We had some tea and then an hour to walk around the gardens. Then they would take their leave as etiquette demanded. What did they teach you in the Order? A variety of things. Some of them applied to me, others I simply couldn't accept. I enjoyed the physical activities and swordsmanship, but the arts, calligraphy, painting, poetry, so many other ways to waste one's time. I guess deep in my heart I knew that I'd never be a true paladin of Shaylin. Wielding a sword almost felt more natural to me than handling a paintbrush. So why did you leave the Order? Because of my heavenly beauty. Valerie winces in contempt. According to Shaylin's laws, all art is sacred, whatever form it takes. Severe punishment awaits those who dare harm a painting, sculpture, or poem, no matter how worthless the drivel might be. My looks always attracted unwanted attention from pilgrims and acolytes at the temple. I received my first poem dedicated to me when I was 9. The author was some wealthy geezer. Valerie's lips thin in contempt, and that was only the beginning. Sculptures, pictures, poems, I was drowning in them. My admirers mobbed me and I had respectfully accepted all their garbage. The clerics of the temple were magnanimous. My suitors made generous offerings to the church. But one time I snapped. Early suppressed anger glitters across Valerie's eyes. Some wealthy idiot had dedicated an extremely untalented poem to me, and he had the nerve to read it right to my face, holding my sleeve. The hour was late, and I was on my way to get some rest after a boring lesson on rhymes. I lost control and tore the poem apart right in front of him. Valerie raises her head proudly. The paladins wanted to impose some punishment upon me. I don't remember which one exactly. They wanted me to repent. Instead, I just gathered my things and left. What did you do after you left the Order? Oh, I set off for Restov. Valerie shrugs. I wanted to be as far away from as possible from the Shaylin and the destiny everyone seemed so ready to force upon me. Besides, the School of Swordsmanship in Restov has quite a decent reputation. Honestly, I was hoping for an opportunity to learn from the famous Aldori masters. Eventually, it became clear their technique wasn't a good fit for me. They teach to avoid impact, whereas I prefer to raise my shield. But my abilities and skills, which I'd learned at the Order of the Eternal Rose, were enough to make the Sword Lords take an interest in me. They offered me a chance to join the mercenaries who serve the Sword Lords, and I accepted. Well, I bet your beauty inspired many people in the Order. Valerie's gaze suddenly becomes cold. And here I hoped I'd avoid the question. She exhales loudly. Well, let's get this over with once and for all. You should understand I am perfectly aware that most races, orders, and genders find me physically attractive. It's beyond my power to change that, and I've never given a potential admirer any reason to start a conversation with me, but that doesn't stop them. After leaving the Order, I took a dagger and cut off the long hair they used to praise. Well, now I get letters praising the beauty of my eyes. It was because of my appearance I ended up in the Order of the Eternal Rose, though I never wanted to be a paladin. It was because of my beauty that an infinite number of suitors have pursued me, all of them confusing simple politeness with hints of affection. Valerie clenches her fists. But you know what I really want? I want people to stop treating me like a piece of art. I want them to notice I'm a person, and that I'm capable of more than smiling for paintings. Where I sit wearing a lacy satin dress, holding a basket of peaches in my lap, is that too much to ask? The last question comes out in a shout, though Valerie doesn't seem to realize it. Well, you know what? Thank you for your honesty. I understand you very well. You're a true friend who I can trust with my life. I'm truly happy you understand me. Thank you. Valerie smiles at you gratefully. The smile is full of warmth that you never expected from someone as stern as Valerie. You suddenly realize you're smiling back at her. Alright, let's change the subject. You have my attention. Okay, tell me of Shaylin and about her paladins. Shaylin is a goddess of love, beauty, and art. Her paladins are something like armored artists. That's how I like to think of themselves, at least. Valerie tries to contain her feelings, but her inner contempt bursts forth. They are fanatical defenders of worthless, inartistic paintings and meaningless opuses, if you want to know my opinion. You speak of Shaylin with such contempt. What did the goddess of beauty do to earn your anger? She's been trying to ruin my life, Valerie snorts. Shaylin, the goddess of everything useless that ever existed in this life, all the beauty in the world, all the art, all the soulful sighs in the moonlight, they'll never feed a single family. And I beg you to restrain yourself from offering your own opinion. Trust me, I've heard everything you can tell me more than once. Nothing and nobody can change my mind. Valerie looks at you with suspicion. As for Shaylin, she's the goddess of idlers. Almost joined her preposterous entourage, and I'm glad I was smart enough to denounce her while I still could. What do the paladins of Shaylin usually do? They wander around seeking the next pile of garbage. When they find it, they call it an immortal piece of art and admire it until they're blue in the face. You might not believe this, but the paladins of Shaylin aren't allowed to slay their enemies if they beg for mercy. Can you guess why? Because a bandit, rapist, or murderer who has been put to the sword will never be able to create something beautiful in the future. So a paladin overpowers their enemy in battle and inspires them to create a masterpiece. Valerie's face reflects extreme disgust. Might sound hilarious if it wasn't true. Plus, all of Shaylin's followers are obliged to practice some sort of art in his or her free time. Every single day, no matter what else is going on. You feeling sick, or hungry, or sleepy? Otherwise, according to their clerics, you lose your connection with your goddess. A preposterous notion, wouldn't you agree? Yes. Well, I understand not every piece of art is good or even decent, but surely there must be a few great works among them. Is that what you think? Valerie curves an eyebrow, mocking amusement. Many share that delusion. I was deluded too for a while. Now I consider all works of art useless. People create this garbage because they have nothing better to do. The peasant doesn't paint a picture, he ploughs the earth to feed his family. The soldier has no time for a sculpture, he must defend his homeland. But idlers and slackers have plenty of time to waste, so they smear canvases with paint and imagine they've done something worthwhile and valuable. Valerie shakes her head in disapproval. Okay, you said that every paladin must practice some kind of art. What kind of art did you practice? I used to embroider. I still do from time to time. A treacherous blush covers Valerie's cheeks. It's nothing, I assure you. The simple task to keep my hands busy and keep the gloomy thoughts at bay, nothing special. Alright, I see. Let's move on. Sir, you're an atheist. You don't worship any deity. Right. I need no guidance from the above. I have my own good conscience, my leader's orders to live by. You know, you don't have to follow etiquette and good manners while speaking to me if you don't want to. I'm aware of that, Valerie sighs, but I'm sure you understand what I am. This is how I was brought up, first by my parents, then by my mentors in the order. Besides, I was born to a noble family. Valerie raises her chin proudly. So, I rather enjoy the idea that my manner of speech differs a bit from the common language of the peasantry. You can't imagine how many social climbers have bowed politely the moment I open my mouth. I guess you have plenty of suitors. Valerie rolls her eyes. Sadly, I suppose you're right. Even here in the remote lands, one can find offspring of many noble houses, and all of them consider it their duty to kneel before me, begging me to walk with them in the garden. Valerie's voice overflows with contempt, as if the words were poison, you'd be dying. If the words were poison, you'd be dying a horrible death. Oh, and don't forget about the village oafs. They understand the concept of nobility perfectly well. They realize they'll be punished if they dare make any advance towards me, so they prefer to stare from the distance, drooling. And believe me, I can very well imagine what they discuss in the taverns. Valerie shivers and jerks her shoulders as if trying to shed the disgusting stares. I don't think I'm going to say number 6. I'll say, you're so eager to follow my orders. Why? What do you mean, why? Valerie looks at you in bewilderment. I follow your orders. I've joined your campaign because I have faith in you. I believe in your intentions to be noble, though things may not always turn out as you planned. You are my commander. Your orders are law. It's my duty to follow them. Valerie hesitates a moment. Well, as long as you don't order me to do anything that's absolutely dishonorable, that would never happen. I hope. Alright, well, thank you for the conversation. I'll talk to you later. As you wish. Valerie nods with dignity. Yes, he nodded. That's kind of neat. Well, I think that we're pretty much ready to leave now. We've talked to absolutely everybody, and they had a lot to say. Well, some more than others. But yeah, I think we're ready to go. So I'm going to end the episode here. Thank you for watching, and next time, it's time to leave Oleg's trading post. See you then. Goodbye.